Hello, my name is Brianna Sinclair, and this is my 12th week on HRT. Bendy decided that he's just going to join us automatically. um, so yes, this is my 12th week on HRT, and my little measurements update is my hips are still 34 and a quarter, my bust is 35 and 5/8, my waist is 25 and a half. So I guess I've noticed a little bit in my bust, but I wouldn't say that's solidified until at least the second week whenever I've had a consistent measurement. My emotional state's pretty much leveled off, which is good. My muscle atrophy, I didn't really notice anything this week because I didn't lift a whole lot of heavy things. I just have really noticed that it is a lot harder for me to lift normal things that I used to be able to lift. But it's also like I just get tired a little bit more quickly, I guess. Just more atrophied. Which I kind of knew about and expected, and that's fine. Breast development so far, I haven't really noticed a whole lot. There's still roughly this, like, the size of, like, a little bit, like, 2 inches in diameter, really. Or an inch and a half, maybe. So I think they're more growing, like, kind of outward, maybe, like, width-wise? I don't really know. My sex drive is pretty much the same. I've kind of gotten to the point where, like, I don't need it as much as I used to. Which is kind of good, honestly. I just kind of do it because it, like, helps me in certain portions of my life, like sleeping and stuff like that. Which I know is probably a little bit, like, too much information. So, I apologize if it was. It was kind of recommended that I talk a little bit more close to my normal voice. This is what I normally sound like, for the most part. What are you doing? I have kind of noticed the hair on my face somewhat thinning a little bit. Not anywhere near as much as I want it to. Just because I got a long way to go because I've got super dark hair, so it's hard to hide. So I am still on the same hormone regimen. I am probably gonna start a new one next week because I just got my endocrinology results back. They said my levels in estrogen were a 66. I'm not 100% sure what the unit is because I neglected to sit down and actually look that up. But they said they shouldn't go over 100 units, and my testosterone was good. I just need to be careful that it doesn't drop below 200, which is good. She did recommend that I get like a little blood pressure cuff because my I think it's the spironolactone is also a blood pressure medication. So it also kind of like drops my blood pressure, and my blood pressure is already at like the low end of the band. So she raised my levels with caution starting next week. She recommended I get a blood pressure cuff, learn how to use it, and start taking my own blood pressure to make sure that my blood pressure is good. And at some point in time, I need to get one anyway. So that was pretty much it for my endocrinology appointment. I was kind of happy. She said she'd bump up my medication to 3 of each pill every day to take, I guess, the 3 estrogen all in the morning, take 2, or estradiol all in the morning, take 2 estradiol, or spironolactone in the morning and then 1 at night, and then if I feel the need to, I can swap them. That's pretty much it for that little bit. Sorry, he keeps gnawing on my fingers. You little shit, what are you doing? That's pretty much it. This is my 3-month point, which means I've got like 9 more months to go. I'm a quarter of the way there before I can surgically transition, which I'm really excited for because I think it would help me a lot, especially FFS. I listened to a lot of had listened to a lot of transgender testimonies and what they would do regarding their surgical transitions if they got a second chance, and I think all of them actually said they would do FFS first, any body contouring next, and then breast augmentation, because it is a little bit easier to fit in. That way you can still fit in, you can still go about your life normally. It just kind of like you look subtly more feminine, and slowly you do build up this feminine feature, this characteristic, or nature about it, at least your body shape. And then you get breast augmentation, which is the most affirming. They say, having said that, it is the most identifying as well. Just because that's what most people associate with being a girl, is girls have boobs. That's kind of subconsciously what people think in their mind, oh, that person's got boobs, probably a girl. What are you up to? But that was the way I planned to do my, the order I planned to do my surgeries was FFS, BBL, breast augmentation. I have been trying to eat more and stuff like that to increase my calorie content to help my hormones, give them something to work with, I guess, a little bit more than what they already do. I cut out caffeine because it's supposed to be bad for your voice, and I've just been drinking a lot of water because I needed to drink more water anyway. Yeah, that was the way I planned to do it, because that was what was recommended, and that's how I want to kind of go about my transition, because if I had it my way, I would just press a button and be a girl, and probably break said button, because it would be instantaneous. And that's what it's like. What I would desire most is just an instantaneous change where I can live as my authentic self, and kind of just bypass all of like the subtle hatred and discrimination. If people don't know, if people don't have a right to know, they don't know, because they assume that you're a girl. At least in my case, they'll assume that I'm a girl. Because that'll pretty much be it. That won't be in my business or anything like that. Except for like my wife, who is the only person, my wife and my family, I guess, are the only people I would determine have the right to know. I just kind of like am making this channel for me and just choosing to share it because this is my journey. You keep doing that. Yeah. My doctors were the doctors I had chosen, because I did a little bit of research into like the doctors I wanted, were deliberately picked by myself and my wife, because that's who we thought would be best for both of us. I had seen some of their work done on my wife, and I had seen the rest of their work was kind of like recommended to me. And who I go to, I'm not 100% sure, because my job is gonna hopefully pay for it. My first round of FFS and my breast augmentation, and they would pay for SRS. I'm just not looking to go that far. That's not for me yet. A lot of things are happening really quickly, and I do enjoy it. I'm still waiting on my like exception of policy. It's been almost 2 months since 2.5 months since I started routing it, and I am starting to press where it's at, because I don't feel like it should take several months like this just to get a couple signatures on some paper. Excuse me. Having said that, excuse me, it's been a long day for me, and I did a lot of running around today because I had to patrol like both my jobs today. So I think I addressed everything initially. I'm just trying to make sure. Emotional. Yeah, so far I think that is everything. I have noticed slightly easier bruising, like on my legs. I don't know if that makes any difference. I feel like I just got off track on something, and I apologize. It's the nature of my videos being unscripted and unedited. So please forgive me. I'm just trying to be authentic and truthful as I possibly can. Sorry, he's looking over at me. I think that's the last little change I've noticed, is just minor bruising is I'm a little bit more prone to. And I do expect that to get a little bit better. Prominent. Yeah. decided to just kind of like be a little bit more comfortable and relaxed today, so I'm just kind of sitting with a blanket over myself, just relaxing. With Fendi over here. Um, So in my transition, I do know that it's going to take months, even years, to see all the changes. Because for a normal female puberty, it takes years as well. So to think that mine wouldn't take time is illogical. It's simply illogical. There's, as much as I would love to instantaneously wake up and be fully transitioned, that's just not how it works. For obvious reasons. And I am excited for every step. I'm excited for every little change I notice, because every little change I notice is like that little bit of affirmation that my journey's going well. Like, sure, my chest may still hurt because they're still growing, but I don't expect them to hurt for too much longer, because my family's not really well endowed in that portion. But we'll see. Something I did want, even before I started hormones, was progesterone. I was told that my endocrinologist would not prescribe me progesterone because she felt the risk was not worth the reward. It was more anecdotal and not sound to prescribe. I did hear that it would exacerbate your results, which is good. It would also like level out your mood, and I'm not feeling any form of like moodiness really. I do get a little bit sassy sometimes, but not like super moody. Lord, I apologize. It's been a day, for lack of a better term. Trying to think on anything else I need to report to y'all, because those are all the changes in my expectations. Really, it's just minor changes here and there until 9 more months, and then I can medically transition. And I'm not 100% sure how the paperwork on that goes, but I imagine I would just need to go through my insurance to get on the books to one of the doctors that they take after I get permission and go for it. And my advocate was, for my transition, was under the impression that all of my surgeries would happen simultaneously to minimize downtime, so I could be the most productive I could. I said that was not a good idea, because that is just way too much to put on the body. He was saying that they would basically perform at the max capacity possible, SRS, FFS, and breast augmentation. I didn't include BBL because that's something I plan to have to pay out of pocket, because my insurance considers it mostly cosmetic and won't cover it, because they don't deem it medically necessary. But I feel it's very medically necessary because I've spent so much time trying to change the way my hips and like the structure of my hips and my butt really to kind of give me a more feminine shape, and I just couldn't do it because my body doesn't deposit fat tissue the same way, and that gives me what are known as boy dents and stuff like that. It's like the indent on the gluteus maximus whenever it's flexed, so that it kind of gives you that male shape. Oh no, I'm getting tired too. um, and yeah, because I knew I could do I could still walk around and be somewhat androgynous with FFS and BBL, but the moment I got a breast augmentation, I would have to dress almost entirely feminine because that would be I'd be identified as. At least that's how I would hope. I know I still have a long way to go on my voice because it's deep as all get out, and my mannerisms are still not fully feminine yet, but I do feel like they're getting there to an extent. Yeah. I know this one is drastically shorter than the other ones, but if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, ask questions. Don't be afraid, I'm not gonna be mean. Unless you're mean back, then I will be 100% hold you accountable for what you say. Because that's fair. Transgender people go through enough. I don't think we need to go through more. So please like, comment, subscribe. Be daring, be bold. Don't be afraid. This is Brianna Sinclair signing off.